Namaskara. Many people have this question about the word Rishi, how to write it in English or how to actually spell it in English. Is it R-I-S-H-I or R-U-S-H-I? So let's talk about that in this video. Before answering the question how to write the word Rishi in English, that is R-I-S-H-I or R-U-S-H-I, let's understand a few things. What is a language? A language is a system of communication between human beings. If you discount animals can also have communicate somehow using some signs or sounds, etc. But let's focus on the human language. Now, it's a system of communication expressing thoughts between human beings. Now, a language has mainly two facets, speaking and writing. Speaking came first. Speaking means producing or pronouncing certain sounds using mouth, or and its parts, using parts of the mouth as the apparatus. Now, besides certain specific sounds representing various phonetic letters, speaking also has the attributes of tones to express certain emotions, right? And also pauses, which convey special meanings, like where is a stop or a gap, or a comma, short stop, etc. Right? Now, writing or documenting is a recording system, recording whatever is spoken. So that is used, writing uses a script, right? A script, what is a script? It is a collection of symbols to represent each letter or a sound that is spoken in a language. Now, besides certain specific sounds representing various phonetic letters, speaking also has this attribute of tones and pauses, right? So ideally a script should also have unique symbols for each of the letters and those emotions or pauses. That is the ideal script. But scripts are sometimes not ideal. Now, Sanskrit, English, Hindi, etc. These are the examples of languages that are spoken. Sanskrit is spoken, or English language is spoken, and Hindi language is also spoken, right? But to write the words in these spoken languages, a suitable script can be used. Like the script, which are the scripts? Devanagari is a script, Roman is a script, and Cyrillic is a script. These are the examples of scripts. Generally, a Roman script is used to write the English language or the letters in the English language. And Devanagari script is used to write Sanskrit in general, though a different script can also be used. Now, can it be used? Yes, but how can it be used? Now, as long as there is a way to represent each letter in a language, or each letter means a sound in a language distinctly, a different script can be used. For example, to write Sanskrit, commonly we find Devanagari script, right? But in that place, can we use the Roman script, which is used to write the English language, like A, B, C, D? Can those symbols be used to write the Sanskrit language words? Yes, it can be used. But we need to come up with a system to do that. Now, before getting into that, how to write Rushi using the Roman script, which is used to write English or English letters, we can call it generally English letters. Before looking into it, let's look at the word Rushi itself. Now, right now, which is on the screen, you see that is written using Devanagari script. So it has two symbols here. The first one is R, second one is Shi. So we'll not look at the details of the Shi, maybe in some other video later we can look at it. But focus on this Ru here, which is the main subject of this video. Now this Ru, this sound, which is represented or written in Devanagari script like this in this symbol. There may be some little variations in the Devanagari script itself, but generally you will see it like this, Ru, written like this. Now what is the guideline to pronounce this sound Ru? Now the Shiksha Shastram in Sanskrit or Sanskrit phonetics, it has some guidelines. This Ru is a Murdhanya sound. What is Murdhanya sound? There are other Murdhanya sounds like ta, tha, da, dha, etc. Ta, ta, da, da, na. So these Murdhanya sounds, they are pronounced by rolling back the tongue towards the top crown area inside the mouth. That top crown area is called Murdha in Sanskrit. So by rolling back the tongue towards that Murdha area or the top crown area inside the mouth, so this Ru is pronounced. But note that Ru is a vowel. It is a swara. Because it is a swara, there is no contact. Contact should not happen between the tip of the tongue, which is rolled back towards the crown, and the crown area itself. There should not be any contact because it is a swara. So the tip of the tongue is rolled back towards the murdha, and then what happens? There is a small gap between the tip of the tongue and the murdha area, and then the air is pushed out to produce the sound Ru or Ru. So this is different from the sound Ra, right? Where the Ra, there is a contact between the tip of the tongue and that murdha area. Whereas when you are pronouncing Ru, there is no contact. Only air is pushed out through the gap. So this is important to understand. Okay? So that is schematically on the diagram which is shown here. The air is pushed through the gap between the tip of the tongue rolled back and the murdha, or the top of the inside mouth, that area. So is there a symbol now in the Roman script for the sound represented by this Ru? Ru symbol in Devanagari, the sound. Remember this, we are talking about the sound coming out of the mouth, that is Ru. The symbol for that, the sound in Devanagari is, it looks like this. The closest one we can say is like R, the letter R represented by this symbol R in the Roman script, which is used for the English language. So what are some of the examples which are using this R symbol in the English language? So for example, if you take crimson, okay, where there is R there, or I is also there. So crimson. So there we are pronouncing it as crimson. And if you take the example with RU, we have the example word here, cruel. So it may not be exactly the definition of the sound Ru, but they're close enough. Now, the word root, or when you pronounce it as a root, not root, which may be closer to Ru, that sound. So, so what is the conclusion here? So can we write it as a RI or RU? So for this, there is no hard and fast rule whether we want to write it as RI and or RU, because there is no equivalent ideal or exact match or representation, defined representation of RU sound in the English or Roman script. So it is up to us now. How do we want to spell it? How do we want to spell or represent this sound RU in Roman script? Since there is no exact symbol in the Roman script to represent the sound RU, we see people resorting to either write it as RI or RU when they are writing it in English, like RISHI or RUSHI. But RISHI seems to be more popular. So because of this kind of writing in the English language, and the English language is so commonly used, people are used to pronouncing the words in that way itself, like Rishi. Now, even though the original word had the sound ru in it, because it is written in English as Ri, now people have started pronouncing it as Rishi only, thinking that the actual pronunciation is also Ri only, Rishi. For example, another word is Rishikesh, right? Rishikesh, etc., which is incorrect. The original pronunciation of the sound is Ru there. Now, over the years, many people have tried to solve this problem by developing some kind of mapping system or transliteration systems. Now, what is a transliteration system? It is a mapping between two scripts. For example, if you want to, or in Devanagari, let's say there is a symbol A here. The A is written in Devanagari like this, and how it should be written in English or using the Roman script. I can say I want to use small a or lower case a. Somebody else can say I want to use uppercase a. That's fine, as long as the other person can understand what the small or the lowercase a means, what the uppercase a means. Is it a or a? So this kind of mapping between two scripts, the symbol represented by or used for one sound in one script, what does that mean? How it should be written in using another script to represent the same sound. So this is the transliteration system. So over the years, many groups of people, scholars, they have tried to come up with these transliteration systems between Devanagari and Roman scripts. Now, if you look at the Wikipedia page, go to wikipedia.com and search for this Devanagari transliteration. It has a good information, and you can see the vowels and consonants and some other symbols which are in Devanagari, what are their mappings in or using the Roman script. As you see the screenshot here, there is no one system. Even in the transliteration, there is no one system using the Roman script or Roman symbols or English letters. So you see here in the columns, the Devanagari is in the first column, and there are other columns: IAST, ISO 15919, Monier Williams 72, Harvard Kyoto, etc. So these are the names of the transliteration systems. So each transliteration systems has evolved, and it has its symbol for a certain symbol or letter in Devanagari. As you see, the letter A is same in this lowercase a in all the transliteration systems, whereas A in Devanagari has slightly different, right? In IAST it is a symbol lowercase letter a with a horizontal line on top of it. In Harvard Kyoto it is uppercase A. In iTrans it could be uppercase A or two lowercase a's, and just like that. Now looking at the Ru here, if you look at Ru, now it has different symbols using the same English letters in different transliteration systems. Now, which transliteration system one should use? It depends on you or the receiver to whom you are communicating. You can declare before writing something, some sentence, word, or article, whatever you want to write. If you are using Roman script or English letters to write it, so you can choose one of these transliteration systems and follow it consistently. So consistency is important. Then the other person who is reading your writing can again refer to this table and make sense of it, how to pronounce it, right? How to pronounce that symbol. So if you follow for this Rushi, if you follow the Harvard Kyoto system, the first one, Harvard Kyoto here. So for Ru, the symbol is uppercase R, and for Shi, the symbol is uppercase S. For E, the symbol is I. So if you want to write Rushi, it should be written like this: capital R, capital S, and small I. Now, if you are following iTrans system, then you can use RRI like this and SHI to write the same thing, Rishi. Now, do I have to follow this? Yes, technically yes, if you want the other person to understand completely and consistently. But many times it is difficult to, when you're typing, it is difficult to get these letters on the screen, right? These, for example, I don't know how to get the small a and a line on top of it, or for example, a Ru. If you want to follow this IAST system, then there is a R, there is a dot under it. So I don't know how to get that on the computer keyboard. So if you are using a computer keyboard which can type Devanagari letter, for example, Google keyboard, then when I type RISHI or RUSHI, either way, it will come up with the few 4 or 5 suggestions, and the first one, the top one, is in Devanagari. It will be looking correctly as Ru symbol and Shi symbol. So that's correct. So I can keep it like that as long as other people can understand the sound is Rishi, not Rishi. Okay? So that is the challenge or danger here. The people should not be pronouncing it incorrectly. They should pronounce it as correctly with the R sound there. Now let's take a couple of other examples with the sound R in it. For example, Pitru and Matru. Pitru and Matru. When these words, when written in Sanskritam like this, Pitru and Matru, and we know that there is a R sound in them at the end. When we write it in English or using Roman script, if we follow a certain transliteration system, it could be written like this: PIT and uppercase R, or if you are following iTrans here, it can be PI and uppercase R, and I. But again, when I am typing, if I type PITRI or PITRU, the Google will come up with the correct Devanagari writing like this with the ru sound at the end there. I can leave it like that. But again, remember, it's important to understand the sound or how it should be pronounced. That should be the focus, rather than fretting about how should I write it. But some people pronounce it incorrectly, like they even pronounce it like Pitri, Matri, Pitri, Matri, which is incorrect. So to understand the pronunciation guidelines and pronounce it correctly, however you write it, that is more important than debating about whether you should write RI or RU, where there is no exact match or representation of that sound in the English Roman script, or could be any other script also. Okay, Dhanyavada.